Sakafet YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you how to make some delicious flaky beef patties. Beef, and we're gonna season it up lightly. So I'm gonna go in with a little garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, some pink salt, a little drop of oil, and some green seasoning. All done, nicely seasoned. Cover it up and refrigerate for about 15 minutes while we work on our dough. So to a clean bowl, I'm just going in with some flour. This is 2 cups of plain flour. I'm going in with a teaspoon of salt, baking powder, sugar, curry powder, and some turmeric. Now I'm just going in with my lard. This is about 100 grams of lard, and it was in the fridge. I actually just got this from Tesco. You can just get the butter and the lard. They're literally right next to each other. And I'm just cutting it into cubes in my flour, okay? Now I'm just going in with my hand and I am just breaking up the lard and butter into the flour. This doesn't have to be perfect. I don't want it to have a crummy texture. I literally just want to break it up into nice big chunks into my flour. I'm also using some cold water, and as you can see, I am not kneading this too much because you don't want to overwork the butter where it melts. You need to have minimal kneading for this dough, because the more you work your hand into the dough, the heat of your hand is literally just going to melt that butter. So be very careful. So now that I have a gorgeous dough, as you can see, nice and yellow from that turmeric, I'm just going in with some clear wrap to wrap it up, because I'm going to be pushing it into my fridge for 20 minutes. While my dough is resting, I just went in with some onion in my cast iron pan, and now I'm just going in with my seasoned beef. Now guys, one tip that I have learned is that when you crush the beef like so, it is so much easier to break apart into that nice beef patty filling rather than when you leave it whole. So if you can, season it up the way I showed earlier, and as it breaks down, it will literally be so much more defined rather than when you just put it into the pot straight from the pack. Okay, so that looks absolutely amazing. Just using my spoon to break down the beef just a bit, and now that it's nicely brown, there's no pink color remaining, I'm going in with some dark soy sauce. You can use whatever seasonings you have in your pantry for this, but hey, I have dark soy sauce, so we're using a little bit of that. Mixed it up, mixed it up, mixed it up. And now I'm going in with some oyster sauce for some added flavor, followed by my carrots. You know you can't have a beef patty without some carrots in there. Now, if you're not a fan of carrots, you could actually leave this out. But listen, the carrots work so well with beef. Even when you're making pot roast, for example, it goes so well with beef. And yes, carrots is definitely a must in this beef patty. I'm going in with a little bit of browning for some extra color in that beef. That is optional, but whenever I buy the beef patty, the filling is nice and dark, so I literally want to keep this as straightforward and do it as similar to the original thing as possible. To keep it nice and moist, I'm going in with my breadcrumbs. You can use whichever breadcrumbs you have. It doesn't have to be this same one or this same brand. I got this from Lidl here in the UK, and everyone knows that the breadcrumbs keeps the beef patty nice and moist on the inside. So put a generous amount, and bear in mind the full ingredient list will be down below in the description box. So there you have it. The filling is nicely done. I tend to leave it on the heat for about, 20 minutes, 25 minutes max. And yes, so the breadcrumbs will just absorb any excess moisture in there, keep it nice. And guys, look at how it looks. See, we have our nice chunky pieces of carrots in there. Filling is not too dark. This is absolutely perfect. Okay, so we're actually gonna go ahead and work with our dough. I have my dough over here and I'm just flouring the surface nicely. So I'm just going to open it up and then use my rolling pin to just roll it out as flat as possible. Now you need to be careful with this. We have some beautiful butter and lard in there, and this is going to give it that nice flakes. Guys, absolutely amazing. Now that my dough is nicely rolled out, I'm just going in with a bowl. You can use whatever you want. I just find that this bowl is a generous size and literally one patty will be enough to fill up anybody. So you can use a small bowl, larger one, whichever you choose will work fine. Okay, so I'm just cutting around the bowl, and as you can see, we have two perfect circle shapes here. And I'm just gonna pull off the excess. You want to set it to one side because we're actually gonna be making some more patties with this piece here. Okay, so just set that to one side, and then I am just gonna go ahead and fill these up. But first, guys, I want to show you how gorgeous the butter in there looks. If you look up, you will see the butter in yes, that's what's gonna give us that gorgeous flakiness of the beef patty. So now I'm just going in with about 2 big spoonfuls of the filling. You don't want to overfill this because then it might burst and you don't want that. Okay, so just keep a generous amount to the middle of the patty, and this is where we're gonna fold it up. But hey, I nearly forgot my egg wash, so just take 1 egg and put a little bit of water in there and just whisk it up together before putting it as your egg wash. Okay, using a fork just to put a nice little fork with design on the end and to seal my patty. Guys, look at how amazing it looks. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so now that it's nicely sealed, this is optional, but I like to just go in with a fork sometimes just to put some holes into the top of my patty. Like I said, this is optional. I didn't do this for all of them, but I just wanted to show you that yes, you can actually do this as well. I have a tray that's lined with some baking paper, and I'm just putting my beef patties on there before going in and doing the same thing for another one. So that extra piece we had from earlier, just rolling it out, and as you can see, it's still perfect, still perfect. So now that all 4 of my patties are done, I'm just going in with my egg wash and just brushing it on the top of my patties. Make sure you have an oven preheated to 200 degrees. We're going to be baking this for about 20-25 minutes roughly. And yes, gorgeous. So this is it. This is how they look straight out of the oven, all done. Do you see the flakes, guys? This looks so pretty, and the egg wash just gives it that nice sheen, that nice gloss, but it's nice and soft, and that's the main thing. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm just taking one of them to show you up close how amazing it looks. Guys, this is nice and flaky, nice and soft. Listen, this is the best, absolutely the best. So you know it wouldn't be a beef patty video if I don't show you the insides. Listen, I know y'all will come for my neck, so let me just go ahead and cut into one of them to show you how amazing it looks. Oh my goodness, look at that, my darlings. Yes, do you see how meaty? Oh, this looks so good. And do you see the flakes as well? Yes, my darlings, it's not a beef patty if they don't have lots of flakes everywhere. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. But don't forget to subscribe. It's a pleasure having you here, and I'll see you again in my next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.